KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
High school sports back in the swing of things, everybody, and it is a fantastic time to be an athlete or a sports fan. Even if you're an alumni, a parent, what have you. Marvin Linder is, of course, the head of the ISA Sports League. So, Marv, Happy New Year to you, my friend. Good to see you.
New Year to you, Jason.
Okay,
Happy to see you.
Absolutely. So I'm really, really excited, not just to be talking to you, but also to see the return of ISA Sports. So what do you have in store for people in the spring semesters as far as what's going on with the league?
Right now, we're just starting practices for the third quarter, which is boys basketball, girls soccer, track and field, and baseball. Mm-hmm. So that's the four sports we have. And then after that, we go in with boys volleyball, football, paddling, and girls softball.
Mm-hmm. For people who may be uninitiated, because of course, like the ISA schools, like they have their own style, obviously their own history and tradition, everything. Would you say in the time that ISA has been its own like league, what is the personality or like the signature, the characteristics of an ISA athlete? Like what do they bring to the field or the court?
I don't think that their characteristic or what they bring is any different than before we formed ISA. I think that all the athletes they bring to the plate a lot of competitiveness, being competitive. We always stress that our athletes are student athletes, meaning they're academic. They're supposed to set the example for other athletes, for other students at schools, but they bring a lot of the competitiveness and spirit, and the schools are doing really well. We've had a good season so far. We have a good year so far, and hopefully it'll continue throughout. And the kids are very competitive, and a lot of them are coming out. And I think they're enjoying it more now that the pandemic is, slowly dwindling down. Even though we still have, some positive cases out there, the fans are increasing. The participation's increasing, and the kids are doing really good.
Excellent. So how has the parental involvement, been? Because of course the parents want to be out there and see their kids, have a shot at achieving glory and make history for their school. And a lot of these kids, are second, third, sometimes even fourth generation, of that school. So what are you seeing as far as like the parents coming out and making signs and cheering on their teams?
Oh yeah, we see a lot of parental participation. We see how the kids react to their parents. They're out there not just for themselves, but for their families and for their school. And there's a lot of excitement on the parent side. Sometimes I think the parents are more excited than the actual athletes themselves. It's kind of funny, but they really do get involved, and it's good. As long as it's a positive involvement. We don't want any negative involvement from our parents, and we have very little of that. Most of the parents are very supportive of their kids and very supportive of the teams, and athletic directors in the schools really appreciate that.
Well, sportsmanship, of course, extends to the parents and to the fan, as well as the athletes that are actually like on the field of play too. So that's a great point by you. One thing I always appreciate too about Guam high school sports. This is wonderful. Even back the time when I was a young pup, like trying to establish myself in volleyball. I mean, clearly that turned out well. Is there's so much parity, and of course you've got your traditional powerhouses in maybe basketball or football or wrestling and things like that, but schools tend to do well depending on who goes there, like whose son, whose daughter maybe be of that age. So what are some of the schools in ISA that are doing particularly and trending really well right now?
Right now in basketball, it's JFK and Sanchez. They're doing really well, but GW has a really good team this year. They did really well in the clutch tournament. And I know JFK did really well. But I think them are the two good ones that we're looking at in our three schools in basketball. Track and field, it's always JFK. They have such a good turnout, and they have such a good area to practice and to run. So it makes they do have an advantage over us when it comes to facilities.
That track is amazing.
It is.
And I've just walked around it. I can only imagine what it's like to do sprints or do the relay.
Yeah. Southern, we don't even have a track, so it makes a difference with the schools like that. But we do have a lot of athletes out, and even the other schools have a lot of athletes in track and basketball, soccer. Soccer, we did really well. It'll probably come down I'm thinking between JFK and Southern again, like it did last year.
Mhm.
You know, I think both schools are returning most of their starters. I think I know we only lost one or two starters, and I know JFK has pretty much brought back same team. But the other schools are really competitive too. Okadu is really competitive. You know,
Oh, yeah.
we got a lot of competition right now. You got to bring your A game, or you're going to get beat. You know, that's in any sport, any place, anywhere. And
Excellent.
that,
So
the kids
maybe
know.
that is the A in ISA, in ISA, and everything. Bring your A game, because yeah, it's a very, very competitive league, and I think Marv, that's a tribute to you and the administrators, and of course like the athletic directors at each of the school, and of course the athletes and parents themselves for bringing that high level of competition. Because man, these are the best years for these young athletes' lives.
Yeah, I always tell the kids that too. Even when I'm helping coach in track, I always tell the kids, even the students, I say, participate in sports because you only have 4 years of high school, and you'll remember these years for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
You'll always look back. When I played sports, I always look back at what I played, what I did, what our team did, and I miss that. And you're gonna miss it, unless you can go off to college and play college ball. It's that's why we have such a big turnout when it comes to outside sports, outside leagues. Luckily here on Guam, we have the Guam Major League. We have rugby. We have basketball.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of continuation for the athletes if they don't go to college or get a college scholarship. They have a
Business
lot
leagues,
of
church leagues, village
Yes.
leagues. Yeah.
Yes, so it's a good thing, and hopefully they enjoy these 4 years of their lives and they have something to remember by.
All right. So league wide in ISA, everybody, from beginning to end, really, really good athletes all around, really good competition. So get out there and support your favorite school. But according to Mr. Linder here, green and gold looking good once again. So shout out to the JFK Islanders. They always do like a really good job. So Marvin, we thank you for your effort in putting together yet another successful high school sports program.
Thank you. It wouldn't be possible without the ADs and the admin from the GDOE. I mean, it helps out, and we've done a lot and we've come a long way. And, hopefully we can get more involvement with the other schools, outside of ISA. And we do have a lot of schools competing with us in track and field and baseball this year.
That's
so
good to know.
more competition is better for the kids and for us.
Competition is healthy. and,
Yes.
and we'll end on that. So Marvin, thank you very much and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you too, Jace. Happy New Year.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.